Hello and very warm welcome to the Amish Shackle 5858. I am Amish Shackle. Following are the news headlines which have been reported by American, European, Canadian, Asian, African, European news channels and writers AP, AFP news agencies. So please let's go to the headlines.
Tonight, breaking news, the smoke moving in, millions of Americans right now under dangerous air quality alerts. Temporary ground lost at airport. Great Lakes to the northeast in New York City, the air quality alerts. Fast-moving wildfire, U.S., Canada creating a blanket in the sky of multiple states tonight. The ground stopped for a time at Logan amid poor visibility. New York City and that new alert. Air. Alarm images just New York City. Failing just after takeoff, and another scare tonight. This jet and the bird strike, the damage to the front of the plane, the emergency landing that followed. Also, a small plane crash right off the East Coast. Witnesses seeing it go down in the Atlantic. The dramatic rescue effort that followed. Tonight, showdown in Texas at this hour. Governor Greg Abbott now threatening to arrest Democratic lawmakers fled the state to delay a high-stakes redistricting vote. Republicans trying to redraw the state's congressional map. Tonight, an urgent manhunt. Police searching for the suspect accused of killing a family of four and then allegedly kidnapping and abandoning their baby. Sees tonight the haunting images of hostages held by Hamas, appearing desperate and frail. The family of one hostage describing him as a living tonight is in things will be just the news of a shark attack reports the pregnant wife of a former NBA player attacked by a shark. And this evening here, the tributes pouring in for Lonnie Anderson, the actress from WKRP in Cincinnati. We hear from I Dream of Jeannie star Barbara Eden, remembering her friend. From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David York.
The one-eyed migrant return date begins today.
The government has announced that detention is set to begin by the end of this week.
However, critics have hit out at the scheme with reports that only 50 people a week will be returned.
So, is this yet another gimmick scheme that will struggle to stay afloat?
Britain's prison system came within days of collapse on a number of occasions between autumn 2023 and summer 2024. This is a damning new report shedding light on the capacity crisis and urgent staffing issues.
Rail disruption is setting up to stop Britain with 90 miles per hour winds yesterday, causing train cancellations and mass power cuts.
Students across Scotland will find out their exam results today. We'll be there live with these young people as they find out what their futures hold.
As just 1 in 7 of England's 355,000 primary school teachers are men, we're asking, do boys need more male role models?
And in sport, one of the greatest test series of all time took 57 minutes to end yesterday morning as England were bowled out by India, just 6 runs away from winning. Now, here's a confusing one. Could Newcastle's money help Liverpool buy Alexander Isak from them? Follow me? And Emma Raducanu, guess what? Has got another new coach.
After a stormy day yesterday, it's much calmer today, albeit with some blustery winds and fairly frequent showers across the northern parts. Stick around for the details.
Very nice to have your company this morning. I'm Eamon Holmes.
I'm Ellie Costello, and this is GB News Breakfast.
of urgency. The government confirms it's looking to add momentum to an international push for recognition of a Palestinian state.
There is a risk that there will be no if the world does not act.
The company wins the contract to build the Navy's new $10 billion fleet of warships. Fresh details emerge about the fatal stabbing of a 14-year-old girl in the New South Wales Hunter Valley. The South Australian Parole Board set to rule on whether convicted Snowtown murderer James Sarkis should be released from jail. And international metal producer Nistar to receive a $135 million bailout to save smelters in Hobart and Hello, welcome to ABC News. I'm Ross Childs. In a rare move, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has spoken with the head of the Palestinian Authority over the phone as the government inches closer to officially recognising a state of Palestine. It comes as the Foreign Minister Penny Wong warns there may not be a Palestine left to recognise if the international community doesn't push for a two-state solution. Political reporter Isabel Rowe has more from Parliament House in Canberra.
Well, just a week ago, the Prime Minister was talking about recognition of
France24.com.
Hello and a very warm welcome. If you're just joining us, you're watching Daybreak here on France 24. These are the headlines. House arrest for former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro after he files the court on him taking part in protests or using social media. The far-right politician currently on trial for an attempted coup. Dozens of Democrats leave Texas in order to prevent efforts to redraw the political map there and give Republicans the upper hand. The governor of the state issuing warrants for their arrest. And an updated strategy on the war on Gaza expected to be announced by the Israeli government. Some officials quoted as saying it would aim to occupy all of Gaza. This as dozens more Palestinians killed in the last 24 hours through starvation due to the Israeli blockade or by Israeli fire.
News, and these are our top stories. Hundreds of retired Israeli security officials have signed a letter urging US President Donald Trump to pressure their own government to end the war in Gaza. In a video, several former chiefs said the fighting in Gaza has dragged on for political reasons and could have ended long ago. Moscow has responded cautiously after Washington decided to reposition two nuclear submarines closer to Russia. A Kremlin spokesperson said Moscow did not want to escalate tensions. US President Donald Trump said he ordered the redeployment in response to what he called highly provocative statements by former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev. Northern parts of the UK and Ireland are battling fierce winds after Storm Floris made landfall. Rough waves are lashing coastal areas. Ferry and train services are cancelled across the north. The storm lashed Scotland with wind gusts 105 kilometers an hour, the highest on record for all.
Damage by a new drug epidemic is gripping Thailand.
Plus, a new one-in, one-out migrant and asylum seeker deal comes to force with France. We'll speak to the Home Secretary.
It is Tuesday, There's something called crazy medicine. It's methamphetamine mixed with caffeine, and it's exploding in popularity because it's so cheap.
Production is happening on an industrial scale, taking place in the middle of a civil war in Myanmar, and a huge amount is getting through this porous border with Thailand.
A year on for the riots sparked by the murder of 3 girls in Southport, we return to the scene of this angry confrontation to see if community hypocrites are healed.
I would like to go and join them. Understand that?
The anti-immigration?
Yeah, the anti.
Why?
Because we have this problem within our own communities.
The Israeli Prime Minister will convene his security cabinet to discuss Gaza and the possible reoccupation. And in the sport, a dramatic 6-run win at the Oval to tie the Test series 2-2. Good morning. Authorities in Thailand are trying to deal with a huge increase in the popularity of a concoction that mixes methamphetamine and caffeine. It's called crazy medicine, or yaba.
Wildfire mother in Canada this Monday night.
The photos don't do justice at all. You can taste it.
The health hazards from raging wildfires and the new evacuations. Gazans dying to get food.
Imagine, if you will, the Hunger Games.
What hundreds of former Israeli security officials are urging. Radio silence. The suspicions Manitoba's families minister is blocking emails from foster parents. A clothing retailer's controversial commercial.
You see what I did there, right?
Why the American president is weighing in on this American Eagle ad. Plus, unwanted pets wanted. The uproar over one zoo's request.
Older National with Donna Friesen reporting tonight. Gotcha.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. This summer of smoke is putting a damper on holiday plans in many parts of the country. Across Canada and into parts of the northeastern U.S., a thick haze is blanketing the sky, bringing with it severe air quality alerts. Environment Canada shows several provinces and territories affected, including Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, and the Northwest Territories, all dealing with warnings this long weekend. With more than 700 fires still burning, mostly in the prairies, cities like Toronto have seen some of the worst air quality recorded worldwide. And the smoke isn't just affecting visibility, it's also causing serious health hazards. While the conditions are expected to improve in the coming days, experts warn each additional day of exposure to smoke compounds health risks with the potential for long-term effects. Heather, your
Here with all the details is senior national correspondent Rich Edson. Rich, what can you tell us?
Good evening, Laura. Well, sources tell our Justice Department team that Attorney General Pam Bondi next step in her investigation into the intelligence surrounding the 2016 election during the Obama administration. Bondi has personally ordered an unnamed federal prosecutor to present evidence to a grand jury relating to an alleged conspiracy to tie then 2016 presidential candidate Donald Trump to Russia. Justice declined to comment on the investigation. It's unclear where the grand jury will meet, who will testify, or who specifically prosecutors will try to indict. A week and a half ago, the Justice Department announced it had created a strike force to evaluate evidence that Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard had referred to DOJ. Last month, Gabbard declassified intelligence she maintained shows that in 2016, Obama administration officials manufactured and politicized intelligence to undercut then-President-elect Trump and his incoming administration. Democrats contend that nothing Gabbard has released counters the widely accepted conclusion that Russia meddled to help the Trump campaign. They say Gabbard's allegations are just a distraction. The Justice Department is still early in the process of securing any possible indictment. Prosecutors would take evidence to a grand jury to determine if there's enough to indict. Grand juries do meet in secret, so there is often information presented there that the public will not have access to. Laura?
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and
This is Asia Now.
It's
11 a.m. in Singapore and Hong Kong, 8:30 in New Delhi, and 10 o'clock in Jakarta. Good morning, I'm Rani Samtani. At this hour, trade tensions escalate as the U.S. threatens higher tariffs on India over Russian oil. New Delhi pushes back, accusing Washington of double standards. Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is in India to boost trade, defense, and maritime ties following historic joint naval drills in the South China Sea. He's set to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is said to be considering a full takeover of Gaza, despite warnings from humanitarian agencies over worsening hunger in the enclave.
And now, runaway drama queens. That's the focus of tonight's angle. Well, they can run, but they cannot hide. And Texas Governor Greg Abbott dropping the hammer on Texas Democrats who fled the state. They're trying to block a Republican redistricting plan ahead of the midterms. There are consequences for dereliction of duty, he said just a few hours ago, announcing arrest warrants for all missing Democrats in the House there. Now, although Texas authorities, they don't reach beyond state boundaries, Abbott's making a key point. Democrats are the true threats to democracy. Unless they get the results they want, they're going to do everything in their power to undermine it. You heard it from Mike as we opened the show. On the national level, they did what they did against Trump, and now in Texas, they're doing what they're doing now. And I love how, just like the illegal aliens that they love, the Democrats love to protect them, these liberals in Texas fled to sanctuary jurisdictions. And get this, in one case, on a private jet to Chicago. And it was like watching really bad summer stock theater.
We would not relent to an authoritarian president that wants to steal and racially gerrymander our black and brown districts.
This extraordinary step of a quorum break is so that your voices can be heard.
This is the destruction of America and the destruction of value of our vote. So you see me? Look at here. Bye. I'm out. And I'm here for you.
I'm here for you as I leave for Chicago. But come on, what courage, what sacrifice.
This is the last tool that we have to stop Trump. If politicians can simply stop listening to their people, it's over. Our democracy, everything that America stands for, will be gone.
They're going to inspire other people who have been wanting to see Democrats stand and fight, because this comes at great personal risk to them.
Our Texas state legislators are courageous in fighting the Trump map.
I hope that Texas Democrats taking this heroic step inspires more heroism, and that courage will inspire more courage.
Africa News. The news.
One of Nigeria's main opposition leaders, Peter Obi, has come under fire for reaffirming his vow to serve only one 4-year term if elected president in 2027. In a post on X, he said longevity in office was not a mark of success, citing several prominent global figures, including South Africa's Nelson Mandela. Obi said great leadership was not measured by the length of years in office, but by the quality and impact of services offered to the people. But his comments have not gone down well with the opposition or Progressives Congress and a faction of his own party. The Labour Party leadership described Obi's vow as political theatrics, while the APC said he was just a ploy to woo voters. Noting that decades of unfulfilled pledges have made Nigerians skeptical towards Obi's governor of Anambra State showed he'd fulfilled his campaign commitments. Obi said if elected, his priority areas would be building trust in public institutions, tackling insecurity, revamping the education and healthcare sectors, driving economic activity, and combating corruption.
Ivory Coast opposition is up in arms. 6 militants of the African People's Party Ivory Coast, some senior party members, were arrested over the weekend following a episode in the Yopougon area on Friday night. The party has fiercely denounced the arrests.
Les
6 individuals who were arrested are senior party officials and other activists from Yopougon who were very active in collecting sponsorships for President Kamabou's candidacy in the 2025 election. That what links them The tree so stitched with red thread that even a 2-year-old or 3-year-old could quickly see that we are dealing with a setup here. Mr. Ouattara picks the candidates he wants to face and sets up a sham election to carry out yet another electoral coup. Just like he did in 2020 and in 2010, to stay in power by violating the Republic of every code, starting with the Constitution. As the country edges closer to the presidential election set for October of this year, political violence has increased in recent months. The government, meanwhile, maintains that no arrest in Ivory Coast is made arbitrarily.
We're all suffering in this together. And
the detained Tunisian immigrant is speaking out about the inhumane conditions and legal confusion surrounding her husband's arrest during a recent immigration crackdown in Southern California.
And when they took him, he was wearing shorts and a t-shirt and flip-flops, so he was freezing. Also, there are no beds, no pillows, no blankets, so no toothbrushes and toothpaste. And when you're in a room with people, bathrooms open in the door. It's very dehumanizing. It's very undignified.
Altman had lived in the US for 10 years and previously faced deportation for overstaying a visa, a case that was dismissed in 2020 according to our sheet.
He's Tunisian. He's been here for 10 years. He first came on a visa, and he's okay. That's what the this deportation order that existed back in 2020 was dismissed.
The couple married in March 2025 and filed for legal residency immediately.
And we fell in love, and I said, you gotta get you legal, because I'm an American citizen, and I follow the laws, and I've lived here my whole life. This is my country. He's been here for 10 years. He's a singer, professional singer. He sings classical Arabic music. He's one of the nicest people ever.
The case has sparked rallies outside ICE, facilitates joint support from fellow musicians, immigrant advocates, and concerned citizens. Tunisian swimmer Ahmed Jawadi has made waves at the World Swimming Championships by scoring gold men's 1,500 meter freestyle, completing a stunning double victory after swimming the 800 meter earlier in the week. His back-to-back victory signals a new era for and inspire a generation of athletes across the Arab world.
It was hard for every one of us, for the three of us with Bobby, and I think the one who wanted more was going to win, and I think they wanted it.
With this triumph, Jawadi cements his rising status in the international swimming and brings pride to Tunisia, a country already known for producing champions like Olympic gold medalist Oussama Melouli.
Tonight, the Texas-sized political battle with leaders calling for lawmakers who have left the state to be arrested to bring them back to vote. As Republican leaders look to gerrymander congressional maps, Democratic lawmakers flee the state to delay the vote. Why some leaders are calling for Democrats who are out of state to be hunted down and arrested, as some Democratic governors vow to do what Republicans are doing in Texas. Wildfire season blazing out west in California, Colorado, and Canada. Thousands of acres burned. Wind-blown bridges of fire, and even smoke tornadoes. And now the skies over some of the nation's biggest cities filled with smoke and haze. Even shut down flights in Boston, as heat advisories mean danger for parts of the U.S. It's just the Attorney General calling for a jury to look into the Russia investigation during the president's first term. Are former Obama officials the targets? Also tonight, the graphic images of Israeli hostages in Gaza. We talked to one man's family about hope to return him after hundreds of days in captivity, and why leaked comments from a top U.S. envoy may preview a new strategy of dealing with Hamas. The Montana manhunt for a suspect, an Army veteran, federal officials say killed 4 people in a small-town bar. The new headline on Luigi Mangione, why he was just granted a laptop in prison, and Grandma's excellent adventure, how her family brought a whole new meaning to companion ticket travel ahead of a lifetime. Nightly News starts right now.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Young. Control of Congress is on the line, and the president wants Texas Republicans to draw that line.
On Texas, how many more seats do you want the Republicans to draw?
5. But Texas Democrats are out to stop them.
Members, a quorum is not present.
From the CBS News headquarters in New York, this is the CBS Evening News. Good evening. morning. I'm Maurice Dubois. John Dickerson is off, and we begin with a tale of two maps. This is the proposed new map of congressional districts in Texas. It was drawn by Republicans to try to give them 5 more seats in the U.S. House of Representatives. And this map shows why that is so critical. Republicans now have only 7 more seats than the Democrats in the U.S. House, so control will be up next year. If Republicans gain 5 more seats from Texas, it would improve their chances of keeping control, maybe even adding to their... Democrats in the Texas House are preventing a vote on the redistricting by fleeing the state. Late today, the Republican governor, Greg Abbott, ordered them arrested. Ed O'Keefe follows Democrats suburbs of Chicago. Ed.
Maurice, good evening. As you said, the Lone Star State standoff has national implications over the balance of power in Congress, and it all began because President Trump asked Texas Republicans to act. The Texas Democrats now here in Illinois say they're going to stay here to try to block the changes, at least temporarily. When Republicans gavelled in the Texas State House today in Austin,
members, a quorum is not present.
There weren't enough Democrats now to vote. The GOP proposed a redraw of the state's congressional map, leading Speaker Dustin Burrows to threaten their arrest.
This House will not sit quietly while you obstruct the work of the people.
The new map is part of a special legislative session Republican Governor Greg Abbott called mostly to address the aftermath of deadly July flooding. Democratic lawmakers we spoke with in St. Charles, Illinois, John Busey and John...
Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report, I'm Amy Goodman. At least 6 more Palestinians in Gaza have starved to death in the past 24 hours as famine spreads across the besieged strip. At least 181 Palestinians, including 94 children, have now died from hunger-related causes in Gaza. Meanwhile, Israeli forces killed at least 92 Palestinians Sunday, including 56 who died while seeking food and aid. Another 34 Palestinians have been killed so far today. On Sunday, an Israeli strike hit the headquarters of the Palestinian Red Crescent Society in Khan Yunis. 1 staff member was killed. Meanwhile, Israel has asked the Red Cross to intervene and help provide food and medical treatment for Israeli hostages in Gaza. The call came after Hamas and Islamic Jihad released videos showing 2 emaciated hostages. The Palestinian group denied the hostages start, but a spokesperson for Islamic Jihad said, quote, they will not receive any special privilege amidst the crime of starvation and siege, unquote. The broadcast of the hostage videos prompted a new wave of protests in Israel, calling for an end to the war and the release of
Thank you for watching Amish Shakil 5858. I am Amish Shakil. I hope you will visit again. Have a good life. Bye-bye.